Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So we're set up
Airy.
as FYI. Hi, I'm Jamie from the Temple SPDC. We're set up as a meeting, so that means that's just to make it a little bit more informal. Normally, we set it up as a webinar, but we wanted it to be a little more informal. So folks will start kind of trickling in. I will kick us off with an introduction, and then I will go and let everyone speak in the order that we have them on our event registration. I'll put that in the chat just so you can see it, but I think that'll just keep it organized. We're going to give everybody 5 minutes. I know that some of you have a format, and it might be helpful, Alec, if that could be up so people could look at it, so that those who are agreed to join us later, which we really appreciate you being here, they could just see what information that we're sharing. Okay.
I have a question. I have a PowerPoint. I just kind of was recruited for this about an hour or so
Yeah,
ago.
I understand.
So do you want me to email that to you or do screen?
I'm pretty sure I could allow. I'm able to do screen sharing. So when that time comes, just let me know and I'll shoot it over to you.
Okay. Well, I'll close off everything else.
We'll give everyone a few minutes to join. We had, let's see, 50 something folks register. You never know what that equates to though. But we appreciate everyone being a part of this event. Just trying to man the waiting room here. All right, this is your official welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Schenker-Passero. I am the Director of Programs for the Temple Small Business Development Center. We are an SBDC that's one of 1,000 across the country that exists to support your business grow, your business start, and we do this through our no-cost consulting, meeting with a consultant one-on-one, or you can talk about things like trying to get ready to be in a storefront, maybe making sure your business plan incorporates that, making sure your financials are ready if you're going to go for some financing to help you with that. And then we have our programs, which is what I oversee. So we have a calendar of programs that you can check out on our website. And we also have a really nice, robust recording library of recordings over the past few years of our pandemic workshops. We have a lot, and we have a great resource page with other resources to help you with your business as well. And I can post that in the chat box. At some point, I will do that. Today, you are joining us for something that I am really excited about. So this is what we're thinking of a matchmaking session. So if you are a business, you are here because you are thinking about your first storefront or maybe relocating, and you're not sure what neighborhood of Philadelphia you might fit, your business might fit in. So that's really what this is about. So we are going to hear from representatives from different neighborhoods across the city. They're going to share with us a little bit about what their neighborhood has to offer, key characteristics, and then if there are any vacancies, to share some details about that. We have about 8 today. So we'll give everybody about 5 minutes and then we'll have time for questions at the end. We set this up as a meeting, so that means it can be informal. You can take yourself off camera. You can unmute yourself when you're ready to ask questions, the particularities about the corridor and the vacancies. So that's how this is going to go. I mentioned at the beginning, please use the chat box as well. We want this to have the vibe as if we were in person and matchmaking that way. So please use the chat box to talk about if you are a business, what your needs are in a storefront. And our presenters today are also introducing themselves in the chat as well. So let's welcome our first neighborhood representative, which is Alec Hersh of City Ave District. Alec, would you like to share your screen? How would you like to do that?
I would love to share my screen.
Okay. let me make sure that I can do that. Right, you should be good to share your screen, and we are looking
Okay.
forward to hearing about your corridor.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Can everyone see my screen okay?
We see it.
Perfect. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. This is so exciting. I'm so glad that we're all here doing this. Like Jamie said, my name is Alec Hersh. I'm the Economic Development Manager for the City Avenue District, which is both a business improvement district and now a CDC up here on the City Ave corridor, and I'll talk a bit about what that means in just a second. So first, I want to give a bit of an overview as to what City Ave District is. Yes, we are more than just a line. We're more than just a road. We are a full-fledged community with a ton to offer. So here's a district map of everything that City Ave District is and what it means. So we go all the way from the Schuylkill Expressway in the east, all the way down to like 63rd Street, Overbrook Station in the west. So we actually have three regional rail stations in our district: the Ballast Station, the Kinwood Station, and the Overbrook Station. So it's a really good point from a set perspective. We also have, I think, 4 or 5 bus lines that go through the district as well. So we're really, really well situated in the public transit realm. And we are, here on City Ave, we are right in between the city and the county, right? So one side of our district is City of Philadelphia, other side of our district is Lower Merion Township in Montgomery County, literally, bisected by City Avenue. So we have a lot to offer. I'm excited to show you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the chat, or I have my email both in the chat and at the last slide. So feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I also love to talk, so if I go over my 5 minutes, I'll try to be very, very strict about
I'll let you
my
know.
timing.
Got about 3 minutes.
So just kind of another quick overview, kind of going a little bit deeper into what it means to be a part of the City Avenue community. Like I said, we're a lot more than just City Avenue, right? So we, of course, have our central corridor, our central artery, which is City Avenue. It's highway commercial. We have shopping centers, lots of parking. St. Joe's University is part of that. All that's part of our district. A lot of chain dining, a lot of kind of strip mall, retail, things like that. Like I said, all with plenty of parking, which I know is kind of hard to come by in the city. We also have the village of Bala-Kinwood, specifically Bala Village, which is this little kind of Main Street node right in the heart of the district. It's walkable, it's really intimate, it's got historic buildings. And of course, it being in Lower Merion, it naturally has a higher median income in that community. The typical square footage over there is about 700, 800 square feet. So if you have a small specialty retail or cafe, coffee shop, that kind of thing, that's a really awesome space for it. It's also home to the Bala Theater, which is a very historic movie palace that we're working on with the neighborhood, trying to get that kind of renovated and back on its feet. And then down at the west end, we have Overbrook Farms, 63rd Street corridor, another historic walkable district. It's highly residential. There's a high student population. A lot of St. Joe students live in the mixed-use multifamily housing down there on 63rd Street. So really diverse community, from the highway commercial all the way down to the intimate walkable neighborhoods. So some quick by the numbers in City Ave. Like I said, we're a lot more than just a street. We're where urban, suburban, and rural come together. As you can see down there in that little map in the lower left-hand corner, visitation by home origin over the last year, people come from all over, right? They come from Center City, they come from South Jersey, they come from Montgomery County, Bucks County. They really come from everywhere and visit City Ave District. We are really the premier commercial and corporate district anywhere between Center City and King of Prussia. So we're right there on the line. We have over 1 million square feet of retail space, and there's an estimated spending capacity of $461.9 million. We also welcomed 25 new businesses into the district in 2023, and we hope to make that 30 or more in 2024. So areas of opportunity, we're looking for food and beverage, that's bakeries, cafes, entertainment and fitness, movies, arts and culture, art galleries, gyms, things like that, and independent retail, so clothing, specialty retail, florists, things like that. A quick look at some featured storefronts. Typical rents are really anywhere between like $1,500 and $4,000, depending on your size. And we really run the gamut in class of space. So as you can see over there on the left, One Presidential Boulevard is Class A, right? It's classic. It's got lots of surface parking. You can put commercial kitchen in there. You can put retail in there. Really quality stuff right intermixed within all of the office buildings in the district. And then on Bala Avenue and 63rd Street, you have kind of some more flexible mixed use retail properties. Again, there on Bala Avenue, you're getting 700, 800 square feet, really good space for cafes, coffee shops, specialty retail, things like that. And then on 63rd Street, there's this brand new, big, beautiful, mixed-use, flexible space with a lot of student housing in there, a fitness center on the ground level, and opportunities for flexible retail space and food service as well. And then just some, this is the last slide, available incentives, services, and support that we can offer in the district. Businesses on the Philadelphia side are eligible for the Philadelphia Storefront Improvement Program. Lower Merion doesn't have a similar program yet. We're working on supporting them as they build their own internally, but that's probably a year or two down the road. Businesses throughout the district on both sides have a wide variety of classes, space, square footage, and neighborhoods, as you've seen. And then City Ave District, so we can provide business support services, event programming, monthly Zoom meetings. We do networking opportunities and so much more. Like you can see over there, at the end of this month, we're doing a Black Business Showcase, which is a business expo and networking event for all the Black-owned businesses within the City Ave District. So that's, I'm not sure how I am on time, but that's where I'll leave it with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me. My email is right there, ahersh@cityav.org. I'm super excited to engage with you guys. I hope I've given a glimpse into what we can provide as a really hospitable and diverse district for businesses. And we look forward to welcoming you if you choose to move your business to City Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you, Alec. So if you have questions for his neighborhood, put them in the chat, but also know that we'll have some time at the end just to ask your questions out loud and have more of a conversation. I also wanted to give a special thank you to Alec because he helps me coordinate this event today, and it was really his idea, and then we turned it into this session. So do we have somebody from Aramingo?
I'm not sure he will be making, he just sent me an email.
Okay. What about East Passayunk? We have Rebecca here.
Yes. Hi, but
I had such a fun, I had such a fun day with my kid on the avenue on Saturday. We went to all the places. We got pastries. We got more pastries. We had a fun time at the rec center. We just love walking around that corridor. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, a new tofu shop. I didn't even know about that. There's a tofu factory down there. Very cool.
A tofu factory?
A tofu factory. Yeah, we got fresh tofu. It was so fun. We got to see it being made. Anyway,
I'm
welcome Rebecca Leary, who's part of the East Passayunk Business Improvement District. Do you need to share your screen?
No, because I do not have anything prepared for you.
Not a problem. No worries.
But I do want to thank you for the invitation, Alec, for having me here today, and I can't wait to find out more about the tofu making factory that we'll talk after the meeting maybe, because I don't know what business that is. I am the executive director of the East Passayunk Business Improvement District for the past 6 months or so, and it's been a tremendous experience so far. The Avenue, as it was just mentioned, is it's a very diverse, very authentic South Philadelphia commercial corridor that has a very long history, and the bid has been in business for over 20 years. Our vacancy rate is very, we only have a few vacancies at any given time. Park, the Passayunk Avenue Revitalization Corporation, is a separate entity, and they manage 7 properties on the avenue. And I look at Park as a curator, selecting different businesses that would be a great fit for things that are needed on the avenue. And, we are having more events than we've had in the past. And we're trying to attract a new demographic, people from all across the city, people from all different ethnicities, classes, backgrounds, etc. I want to make sure there's something for everybody down there, and that we continue to be inclusive. And still holds the history that South Philadelphia and Passayunk Avenue, you know, that it has. I'm not exactly sure what else I can present to you because I just
What
got off
about
Zoom before I got here.
any insight into rent prices?
Sure, there's a range, and let me just say that this past weekend I did an art pop-up in one of the vacant storefronts at 1805 East Passayunk next to Stogie Joe's. It's a double property that has been vacant for too long because they're asking for $28 a square foot triple net. And I don't know of any small businesses that would really be able to afford that because it's 3,000 square feet. And most of the footprints along our avenue, they're small. We do cater to independent businesses. Most of our business owners are women, minorities, immigrant families. So the only chain that we have on the avenue thus far is Barcelona Wine Bar, but that is neither here nor there. Rents range from $1,500 to $6,000 and up. Not much. I would say the up would be, you know, maybe $8,000 for that 1805 East Passayunk Avenue. There has been some turnover, and turnover happens for all different kinds of reasons, and the reasons on East Passayunk Avenue are no different than other people's reasons. And it's hard. It's hard to have an independent business. It's hard to run a restaurant. Costs are soaring. It's hard to find help. I don't think that we're much different than the other business districts, although it does sometimes feel that it's Passayunk specific. And
Rebecca, there's some questions about does the population lean more residential, student, commuter, and what are the types of businesses that might be add to the mix well for that neighborhood?
sure, it's a very residential neighborhood. And the demographics that I last saw showed that the average median household income is about $100,000 a year. And it is largely owner-occupied residences. But there are also a lot of people who come from surrounding neighborhoods, from West Passayunk, from the other side of Broad Street, as well as from further south and Pensport. The other part of the question, I'm sorry.
No, I think you answered it. And then one question, and I think this could be for all the presenters today. Is there any online place where folks can go to see what the current vacancies are for your
June. So we recently had to redo our website, and we are putting the pieces back into place. So you would go to visit eastpassayunk.com about section, and I would give me about a week and we will have the vacancies up. There are 2 restaurant spaces. There are 2 or 3 retail spaces that have, you know, are in the range of for small businesses to consider. But you also can reach out to me, and my email address is on the website, and I will always directly connect you with the owner or leasing agent, or I can speak with you directly about what might be coming up and that we don't have listed yet. So come to our website in about a week and we'll have the available listings.
That's perfect. Thank you, Rebecca. Oops,
Of course.
that was my timer. No, appreciate all of that. Meredith from Fairmount CDC. Let me know if you need to share your screen.
I am going to share my screen.
Okay, you should be able to. We can see it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for having me today. Everyone can hear and see me?
Yes, we can.
Great. So my name is Meredith Ellison, and I'm the Community Business Advocate at Fairmount CDC. I am focused on the West Girard corridor in Brewery Town. And the West Girard corridor runs from 25th to 29th on Girard Avenue, with solid concentrations of businesses also on Poplar, just south of the avenue, as well as North 29th and North 31st Streets. We really pride ourselves on being a diverse and inclusive neighborhood, and this is reflected both in the resident demographics and in our business ownership breakdown. We have 39% of our businesses as Black-owned businesses and 44% as women-owned. And we really see our location as a connector between Fairmount Park, Center City, North Philly, and West Philly as a reason why the neighborhood is growing, as well as the business density. We had more than 30 businesses open last year, and we've seen that momentum continue into this year with 5 openings already. And so, you know, we are really looking to attract more individuals with an entrepreneurial spirit to join the really engaged mix of business owners that we already have in the area. And in terms of overall numbers, we're at about 110 active businesses currently. In terms of businesses that would do well here, we've seen from our survey responses that there's really a demand for retail. We have several retail destinations, but we know that some additional ones would complement the existing shopping experiences that we've had. We also know from residents who enjoy our existing mix of food restaurants that they're really looking for more sit-down options. And then we really feel there's a market opportunity for more neighborhood conveniences to serve the residents that are currently underserved here. We don't have any fresh produce, hardware, or a repair shop in the neighborhood. So things along those lines would definitely do well. And then we also see an opportunity for more of an arts and culture destination in the neighborhood. We have plenty nearby, whether it's the Philadelphia Museum of Art or the Barnes Foundation. But we definitely want to attract more to complement both our restaurant scene and also the existing enterprises that we have. For our building stock, we have a really great mix of new construction and historic spaces. And the 3 storefronts I have here present a pretty good mix of what we have to offer. All the way on the left here, you can see a recently renovated space that has the second floor that would be ideal for a creative or professional office. Here we have more of a historic building that is a traditional storefront with great frontage on the avenue and with natural light. And then all the way on the right, we have a new construction space that is going to open this year that can be divided into either 2 or 3 commercial spaces below 160 units. And the typical rent of $20 per square foot per year that I've put here is an average. You can see both above and below, but that's just to get a general sense of what the market's like. And for the available incentives, services, and support that you can expect in working with the Fairmount Community Development Corporation, we run a Philly iHub entrepreneur cohort that supports both business owners with storefronts and home-based businesses. We have a really engaged community of business owners who are excited for people to move in next door and really invite the opportunity to mentor new business owners. And we have a really strong relationship with the State Representative Donna Bullock, who's also located on the avenue and puts a lot of her personal time into supporting entrepreneurs, particularly women of color. And I will put my email in the chat, as well as the link to our Grow Your Business page, which has additional vacancies that we'll be adding to throughout the week.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Meredith. Next, we're going to hear from Josh Hersh from Kensington Corner Trust. You are muted, sir.
Sorry about that. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, it should be.
There we go.
And then Meredith, if you have a link to where someone can find vacancies, just put that in the chat, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Harris from Kensington Corridor Trust. We are a sort of innovative model of community development, working in Kensington from Lehigh to Glenwood, but currently focusing on Allegheny to Glenwood. I'm sharing our website just because we've been working with Ginkgo, a really great mapping service, to give you a sense of the properties we own, as well as we've been following other businesses and mapping businesses on the block as well. I'm sure many of you know the current situation in Kensington, so I won't necessarily, go through all of that. But, one of the things we're doing is prioritizing community engagement and community involvement in the commercial development of the areas that we work. The way Kensington Corridor Trust is I'm the construction project manager, but we're a staff of 3. So I recently participated in the corridor managing cohort program with PACDC. And so there's a lot of overlap with what I do and what corridor managers do, and working with small businesses and helping them find funding and storefront improvement and whatnot. And this sort of gives you a sense of the current businesses following Kensington Avenue. And one of our goals, I'll just sort of read our disclaimer, is to utilize collective ownership to direct investment on the corner that preserves culture and affordability while building neighborhood power and wealth in Kensington. So the majority of our commercial storefronts are 25% below market. So we're averaging out, I think, about $1 a square foot. So a typical mixed-use commercial property that we purchase usually has a commercial storefront of about 900 square feet with basements. Some are in better condition than others. In some cases, we'll purchase 2 buildings that have been combined to give us about 1,800 square feet. We currently don't have any vacancies because we're in construction, but we do have some up-and-coming commercial properties that will be vacant. One of our coolest current build-to-suite tenants will be one of the first fresh grocery stores on Kensington Avenue with a commercial touch kitchen above. So one of the typical processes is that if we have someone that wants to move in our commercial space, we go to the board and we present the business model to show that this business will survive, financially, but also we're looking for businesses that aren't necessarily extractive, like hookah, delis, bodegas that are selling hookahs and lottery machines, and which has been a huge problem in some of these areas in Philadelphia. Yeah, I think, let me see my other notes. I think anyone who is, one of the benefits to where we are is as the neighborhood improves, we're offering really affordable commercial space for small businesses. And hopefully as we buy more in density, our blocks will improve naturally, because right now we currently own 6 to 7 in a row. And so little by little, as our storefronts as our businesses come online, we'll be getting more foot traffic and more event planning and just more coordinated efforts by the local business owners, as well as, building relationships with the existing business owners. One of the things that we do is when we acquire a property that has an existing commercial tenant, we work to help keep them and improve their business. We recently acquired Sherry's Diner, which has been a staple in the neighborhood for years, and you can still get three eggs, not 2, 3 eggs, any style, for like $5.50. And we're going to help them with some of their in-store loan programs to sort of spruce up the place on the inside, but also sort of that balancing act of keeping it with tradition of the people that enjoy going there, but out, and sort of get their feedback on how they'd like to see the interior design perhaps improved, or, maybe menu ideas. I mean, that's not really our circle, but that's our community engagement process is pretty in depth, involving Harrogate Civic Association and other involved community organizations. So I guess that's it. Any questions? As you said, thank you for everyone, Alec and SBDC for organizing this, and also PACDC. So I look forward to any feedback or questions or comments.
Thanks, Josh. Next, do we have Angel from Association of Mexican Businesses? Let me know if you need to share your screen.
Hello. No, I don't really have a presentation. We
No
don't have,
worries, no
but
problem. Thanks for being here.
yes, I would like to share this this session, this meeting afterwards with people who's interested in places. So that's something I would like to ask for, please. Thanks.
I'll check in with all the presenters. My guess is everyone will be fine with it, but I'd just like to double check
Sure.
if anyone has any privacy concerns. So I'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
Angel, did you want to share at all a little bit about just anything about the neighborhood that you're connected to?
Well, sure, of course. My association works mostly in South Philly. It's a bit centered on Italian market. My association is composed with immigrants. So, and we are not only on Italian markets, we are like pretty much spread all over the city, even though mostly South Philly and mostly east of Broad, actually. But we have some association members in Kensington, in West Philly, North Philly, and also South Philly, west of Broad. So we are like a little bit from all over. This association started with Mexican immigrants actually, but then we started receiving also people from other people from Central America and from South America too. So we have people from Honduras, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, and more people keep joining. So it's becoming more like a Latin American immigrant owned businesses, and yeah, we're growing. So we're all over the city, and so I don't know. It's not like we're just a commercial corridor. It's more like a business association at citywide.
That makes sense. Are there currently any vacancies in the Italian market area?
Not that I know of.
And
Yeah,
what would be the best way for somebody to find out if there are properties becoming available?
Yeah, there's this woman, Michelle Gambino. She runs the Italian Market Association, and she would be the one to contact to know about vacancies on Italian market. Michelle Gambino. And but yeah, it's not information I do have on my own.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. And if anyone has questions for you, we'll definitely have time at the end. But if you have nothing further, then the next person I have on our list of presenters is Dana from South Street Headhouse District.
Okay.
Are you with us, Dana? If not, we can come back and we can move on to Janis from the Mount Airy Improvement District.
Sure. You want to give me a share screen?
You should be able to.
Got it. Okay. How's that?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. And I want to give my thanks also to the organizers. I think this is a great idea, and I'm sure you're going to keep building on it in years to come. So to give you a little idea about Mount Airy, we are in Northwest Philadelphia. We're between Chestnut Hill and Germantown. Most of our commercial corridor is along Germantown Avenue, but there are some other pockets of commercial space. I'm with the Mount Airy Business Improvement District, and I work very closely with the staff from the Mount Airy CDC. In fact, I think Sydney from the CDC also helped organize today's event, but is out not feeling well.
Yeah, we've worked together, and I used to work for that CDC as well.
Yeah. So to tell you a little bit also about Mount Airy, I would say that we have a long history of being a stable, racially diverse community. We also have a lot of income diversity. It's a very family-oriented community. Anecdotally, it seems like a lot of families move here, once they have kids. We have a couple of major attractions. One is the Wissahickon, which attracts people who like to walk and bike in the Wissahickon Woods. And we also have a lot of history, a couple of historical sites that are tied to both the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and the Underground Railroad. In terms of the business supports, here's a couple things about Mount Airy. About 27,000 neighborhood residents sitting within 30 minutes of Center City. You could see from my previous photo, this is our annual supper sessions that it attracts many of the residents to the events, as well as people from neighboring communities. A couple of things that support the business community. The CDC facilitates the Mount Airy Business Association that helps local merchants market themselves, while their business services program provides entrepreneurs with various resources to strengthen their business. We have a lot of young entrepreneurs who went through the Power Up program and have really grown their business and are on their way to completing, if they haven't already completed, the Goldman Sachs program. They're all very, very active and helpful members of the Business Association. Also, in terms of accessibility, Germantown Avenue's got SEPTA bus lines and regional rail, making it one of the city's most accessible neighborhoods. And also it's a well-managed business district. If you've been hearing some of us refer to BIDs, business improvement districts, just to break that down a little bit, these are organizations that work with the commercial property owners to provide another level of services to business districts in terms of maintaining a clean and safe and beautiful commercial corridor. Also, Mount Airy, like some of the other districts you've heard at, the businesses are eligible for Storefront Improvement Program grants. These are really generous grants that are offered by the city. They offer up to $10,000 as a match, 50% match on a project. But certainly any business that's looking to open bricks and mortar store should really be aware of this program, because they will very generously help you with painting, exterior improvements and signage. In Mount Airy, the Mount Airy Business Improvement District also has another smaller facade grant program. In terms of how to find out about available space, the Mount Airy CDC hosts this information. It's on their website under Explore Mount Airy, under Commercial Real Estate. But in addition, I'd encourage you to reach out to Sydney or myself, because occasionally commercial property owners are also open to pop-up stores in between long-term leases. We've seen it give a lot of small businesses a chance to experience, a bricks and mortar experience. I think that's all. Oh, a couple other things I was going to cover. When we do surveys, the residents say they want more retail and they want more food and beverage. But that being said, the commercial district supports a lot of services. And also surprising to me, I see a lot of businesses opening that are craft oriented for the family. And I don't necessarily think anyone ever thought to put that in a survey, that I'd like to see more of that, but it's clearly sort of a thriving opportunity in Mount Airy. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. There are comments coming in the chat, and I think, is there anybody who joined late who didn't get a chance to present? And then I know that we also, Alec told me that we have Linda from Roxborough who's joining us as well. So we'll give her the floor. And if I miss anybody, if any of our presenters joined in late, you can go next.
Well, hi, everyone. It's really been interesting to hear sort of a similar kind of presentation about all the different corridors. Like Janis, I represent a business improvement district, and she did a great description of like what the value added is for that. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of sort of our market and some of the gaps we have, and a couple properties that we have that kind of give you a sense of the breadth of the opportunities. So the Roxborough Development Corporation is the business improvement district for the Ridge Avenue commercial corridor. And we're also in the Northwest, the lower Northwest. We're sort of up the hill from Passayunk and kind of, I guess, down the hill from Wissahickon Valley Park. So we're kind of between two trail systems. It's a very green part of the city. And that's often a big reason that people move here. The residents that we serve are the 38,000 residents of the 19128 zip code. That's Roxborough, but we also get frequent visits from people that live in Passayunk, partly drawn by our convenience retail base, from Germantown and also Mount Airy. And then another peculiar thing about where we are is that we're sort of at a cusp location between the city and the suburbs. And so a lot of our residents live here because they may have two different commuters, one commuting to the suburbs to work and one commuting to Center City or University City. So a lot of people use transit, but a lot of people use cars as well. It's a very mobile population. Also, it's an area with some deep roots. There's a lot of multi-generational families that live in the area, if not necessarily in Roxborough. So when we have events or even like daily shopping, there are people that are coming back to Roxborough from where they live now. So it's an interesting mix of people, like I said, kind of drawing more from the suburbs than some urban commercial corridors do. I would call our zip code very much a middle market neighborhood. It's very stable, but there's some momentum in terms of income and population, and I'll explain why. Our median income went up from 80 to 88,000 over the last 5 years. A lot of the people that work here are in eds and meds, but there's also a tradition of small independent businesses in the community as well. And the other reason that we're increasing the population is, like some of the other neighborhoods that your corridors serve, we've had a big boost in multifamily dwellings, including mixed-use development. And we have added by the end of this year, we will have added 1,200 units to the area, to our market shed, just on Ridge Avenue alone. About 26% of our residents are between 25 and 34. But we also have a lot of long-term residents that are active. They're either approaching retirement or they are retired. And an indicator of some of their engagement is that they are currently founding a village on the Ridge, which there are different villages. I know East Falls has one, Center City has one. It's sort of a group that creates activities and communal experiences for people who are 50 and over. So that's, kind of reflects some of that particular market. The gaps that we've seen through our surveys and just conversations are kids-oriented retail and activities, and particularly pre-K, pet services. I had an informal conversation with one of the property managers that manages a number of new apartments here. And she said 50% of their tenants have pets, cats or dogs. So we do have a couple very busy groomers up here, but there's definitely room for something more. Also, like many of you, our residents are really clamoring for more sit-down restaurants. We have a pretty healthy standard takeout retail base. But people are really looking for sit-down and also more diverse dining options than we have. I would just kind of just say that we have a mix of pretty successful new businesses, New Ridge Brewing Company, which is a brew pub, and White Yak, which is a Tibetan restaurant that's really gotten James Beard recognition and has a regional draw. A new coffee shop called Emerite has just opened and seems to be doing great business. The Biscuit Lady is also something that's on a lot of maps up here in Northwest and north of the suburbs. But we also have a lot of strong legacy businesses. Cafe Roma is an Italian bakery. That's one of the businesses that draws people back to the neighborhood. We actually have a fantastic hardware store called Stanley's Hardware. And we have an ice cream place called C&C Creamery. And those are all things that have a very fond following and also attract new people as well. So I was just going to profile 3 commercial spaces. I would mention that our district has about a 10% vacancy rate. It's sort of sprinkled throughout the corridor. And the retail space that we have is a mix of new and existing. The first space I'm going to mention is 6155 Ridge Avenue. This is right in the center of the corridor. It's in a new construction building. It's now looking, it has leased one space and it's looking to lease another one. I believe the potential rent is $25 per square foot. It's 1,200 square feet. It's not really outfitted for hospitality use in the sense it doesn't have venting or kitchen hookups or anything like that, but it does get a huge amount of foot traffic. And it's actually, I'm not thrilled with every development that comes on Ridge Avenue, but this one looks great. And from the pedestrian level, it looks terrific. Another one that's an existing space is down the block, 6117 Ridge Avenue. It's an old space. It's very clean. It has a tin ceiling and exposed brick wall. The owner is willing to negotiate to deal with, kind of doing some cosmetic finishes to it. It's a big space. It's 2,500 square feet. He is asking a pretty affordable rate of $10 per square foot, just because that's a hard fit. As I think someone else was mentioning, like what the threshold that a small business can really carry. The downside, it does not have off-street loading and delivery. And so both of those are ready now. And then one that's coming online in 2 years, however, conversations with the developer would be welcome, is 6174 Ridge. This is going to be a multifamily development right in the heart of Ridge Avenue. It's going to have 20,000 square feet of retail space. We're imagining that it would have space for 2 large sit-down restaurants, and they're developing in a way that you can do the venting and deal with the kitchen mechanicals pretty easily. You don't have to retrofit that or anything like that. And it's also going to be facing Roxborough Development Corporation's Pocket Park, which has a mural and some beautiful plantings. It's a great kind of garden facade, as well as the main commercial corridor facade elevation. And it will also have a couple other smaller spaces on Ridge Avenue, the main street, and a very busy side street. So I just wanted to mention that we too are redoing our website. So these commercial spaces that we have are not on our website now. However, you're welcome to contact us and treat us as a resource to introduce you to owners or developers and show you. We track the space all the time. We could also be a resource to match you up or advise you on storefront improvements or business camera grants from the city, and also other kinds of resources for training and things like that. One of the other things that we do that's kind of special is that we have a very strong marketing component. Part of it's organizing events and programs that bring people to the corridor at all times of the year, but we also always do a ribbon cutting and a business profile for
No,
any
you're
business
fine.
that comes online. I am sitting in for our executive director, Jax Kuzak, who is doing research in New Orleans for the hospitality this week. She's actually on vacation, but she would be the person to contact. I put her contact information in the chat, but I'm gonna do it again just so it's right there in front of you. Like I said, it's great kind of talking with all of you guys and comparing notes. And I think we all have something wonderful to give to prospective retailers.
Thank you, Linda. Is there anybody who I missed who was slated to present today? Speak now, please. Otherwise, I am going to put in the chat a survey for today. We're required by our SBA funders to have feedback for every session that we do at the SBDC. And you can also have a chance to mention what other topics you'd like to hear from, about. So we may end early today, which is no problem, but I did want to open it up. If anybody who is in attendance wants to unmute themselves and ask some questions to the folks who presented about their neighborhoods, now would be the time to do that. And there's a lot of contact information in the chat, so try to copy and paste that. We will send out a follow-up email that will include contact information and anything else that the presenters want us to share. If there's a one-pager, we can, whatever it is, we can share that out. All right, well, we can leave the room open for a few more minutes, but I did want to take the time to thank everybody who presented today. Again, Alec, for helping me coordinate this. I hope that the information was valuable. We know, I mean, we at the SBDC know that unfortunately there's not one easy way to know. I mean, there's LoopNet, but there's not one easy way to truly know all the vacancies that are in our amazing neighborhoods, as well as the ones that are almost ready to go to be available. So I think that having these contacts is really helpful. And I'm quite sure that the presenters today would be very, very willing to speak to you about your particular space needs. So hopefully you will store their contacts and keep all of the information involved in mind when you are looking for your first or third or 15th space in our neighborhoods. I'm not seeing any questions. So thank you all for joining. We're getting some comments in the chat that this was helpful, so I love to hear that. And we hope to see you at our office to chat with one of our consultants or at a webinar in the future. Thanks again.